Right.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Samantha Shinder. I am currently a joint doctoral student studying public health in the global health track, and it's a joint program between UCSD and San Diego State.
And what inspires you to do the research that you do?
I think I've always, since undergrad, I've always had a passion for the ocean, like since I was a kid. But I think since undergrad, I've really noticed my interest geared more towards animal models of health, and how we can better the health of our ecosystems, the animals that call it home, but also ourselves. And just seeing how interconnected everything all is really piqued my interest. And just sort of exploring different ways to get involved in that work has sort of always been a passion of mine.
Uh, what is the like kind of highlights of the presentation that you'll be giving at North America SeaTac?
Yeah, so my work is essentially looking at conducting non-targeted chemical analyses of marine mammal or blubber samples from the endangered Irrawaddy dolphin that's found in Cambodia in the Mekong River. And essentially, this animal is critically endangered with less than 100 individuals still remaining. And we're not totally sure like why this is the case. There's a lot, most of these animals are not reaching maturity, so they're washing up dead on the shores like as immature animals. So, and it's believed that pollutant exposure is playing a really big role in the cause of these neonatal deaths. So, my work is essentially looking to um, identify and quantify the chemicals that are found in the blubber of these animals to try to see like which particular chemicals are really posing like the greatest risks, and hopefully that information can be used in further like public policy, because Cambodia is a region that relies heavily on pesticide usage, and there's limited screening practices that are used there. So pesticides that could still be causing significant ecological damage are still being used today on crops. So hopefully this information and seeing that it's actually having this effect can hopefully cause these to be more limited. And local communities that live in these areas also really are heavily relying on the resources from these crops and the water, and also eating the fish that are found in this river as a predominant dietary source, just like these dolphins are. So who's to say that what's affecting the dolphins cannot also be affecting these communities?
Wow, right. Yeah. I feel like I have so many different questions on this thread, like so many different nerdy questions about like how do you find a control for this when you have these species that are like so there's so few of them, few individuals, you know, how do you do this kind of research in a way that you're able to like detect the things when kind of all of them are being harmed in the same way? Are you able to find like some kind of concentration gradients or something like that?
Right now, we're really just working to even identify compounds, and like there's been such limited work on these animals, so it's sort of hard to really gauge like where to start, I would say. So I think right now, like just like identifying and quantifying and then comparing those findings to established studies from animals in other water regions is really like the first step, because there's such limited information about this particular species, and the contaminants found.
Yeah, wow. So important. I just like my work is I'm never working on these like endangered species, and I just you folks are my heroes, you know. I'm like, please save them. Save the endangered species.
Trying.
Yeah, we got this. We got this. The research is plays such a critical role in this because, you know, I'm sure as you've seen in this kind of circumstance, there's a lot of finger pointing and kind of like, oh, it's not the pesticides, it's, you know, this thing or what, you know, and until you have data that backs up like
Yeah.
what's really going on, you can't actually people can just use politics to kind of get the status quo to stay the same, you know. And
Yeah. So like whatever happened in the Vietnam War and like the spraying of Agent Orange and other harmful defoliant exposure at that time, like could still be circulating in the environment there today. So there's definitely a lot going on.
yeah, legacy contaminants too. Geez, that's
Yeah.
really scary because that's gonna take a long time to fix. Ugh, gosh. Okay, how did you first get involved with SoCal SeaTac?
Through my lab, there's definitely been members that have been involved, such as Maggie Stack. She, I believe, was the president this past year. Yeah. So she definitely has really encouraged involvement with other lab members. So yeah, her and my mentor advised me to attend last year's annual meeting. And then I've been involved from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love Maggie. She's great. Yeah, she is the I think she was past president last year. She like planned the whole meeting, and then now she's
Yeah.
I'm currently the vice president, so it's like a 3-year commitment. You're like vice president,
Okay.
then president, then past president, and the past president's actually the hardest job. So you like work your way up to that because you have to plan the
Okay.
meeting. But yeah, it's been great. Okay. All right, last question. Feel free to take this one any way that you want, but just thinking about kind of like a big picture, like inspirational thing that you've been thinking about of like ways that we can have some big wins on the environment.
Well, with respect to like my work right now in this project, I think, like I said, hopefully finding and identifying some more concrete data can help to bring about these big policy wins in terms of like restriction of usage in the Cambodian region. I think would be like a really big win, and I think just like bringing to light anything with respect to that, or like just being more mindful on an individual level of like what you're exposing yourself to and how you can better your own health is like ultimately a big win for it. I think on a global scale, just at a small, it starts small, but has a bigger impact. Like even in this work, I believe we have to quantify it, but have identified a herbicide that is commonly used in rice farming, but it's the first time it's been detected in marine mammals. And it's restricted, but I'm pretty sure it's still used on like golf courses and baseball fields, like yearly, like once a year type of thing in North America. So maybe this study can help bring about more knowledge on that chemical, like, and just, I think just becoming more aware of what we're exposing ourselves to is just a big win overall.